share it with the person next to you. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds for this quick task. Okay, everybody come up with one? Yes? Okay. Good. Would anyone at this table like to share? Anyone brave? Say something you are proficient at? You had one, Karen? Okay. I am a proficient English speaker. There's one of them. How about here?
She's proficient at tying her shoes.
Excellent. Yes. I can tie my shoes proficiently. Over here. And you can tell what someone else said, that's fine.
I'm a proficient pet owner.
Proficient pet owner. So what's the action that you do with your pets that you are actually proficient with?
He lives, I feed him.
Excellent. Okay. So with these three examples, how would you describe the word that they use to fill in the blank? She said tying shoes. She said speaking English. He said keeping his pets alive. So what type of word is that? Part of speech. It's a verb. It's a verb, okay? So we are actually proficient in skills, in doing something. So I am a proficient dancer. That's a very physical skill, okay? I'm a proficient soccer player. That's not true. But that's a skill, okay? So that's what we're looking for, is we want to not just teach our students knowledge for the day, we want them to become proficient at something. How many of you do something athletic, or sew, or crochet, or do scrapbooking, or something like that? Were you good at it the first day? No, you had to practice and learn, and then you'd go to a group and somebody would say, no, you stitch over, not under. And you're like, oh. Okay, so you need feedback, right? And it's this cycle, and you do not become a professional knitter where you're selling your blankets at Swiss Days if you haven't practiced, and you can't do it overnight, right? So it's going to take time. So those are the big concepts we want to remember. So some things that we do here for achievement, we use teacher tests for achievement, the benchmarks, and our SAGE. Does that make sense to everyone? Just give me a nod or a nod. Okay. I see, and then I'm seeing. Okay. Then on the right-hand side, for proficiency in dual language, we use what's called an APPLE test. They start that in 3rd grade. The proficiency reports, WIDA access, and then the can-do statements. So just pointing these out, these are our measures. We talked a little bit about that earlier. That's just really quick to jog your memory. The difference here, turn really quick and tell your partner what is the difference between what we're measuring on the left-hand side and the right-hand side with the new information you just got today. Okay, finish your last thought. I heard a lot of good adjectives describing the difference. I heard this is closed, this is open. I heard that this was content related and this was language related. Did I not hear something else that we should add that maybe your partner said? Sure.
So we talked about how the proficiency builds on like the same things and getting better at something, and then the achievement ones is like grade level appropriate, you know, type stuff.
Yes, yeah, because your language proficiency might be at a different level, but the content is guarded by those standards, right? That's absolutely true. And you might still understand the content and not have the same proficiency level as someone in the same class. Is that true? Is that okay? Yeah, and that's our goal. So, but we still need to keep developing that language. So, all right, that's great. Great. Thanks, Ellie. Yeah, we do that. Okay? But what are we going to do about it, right? Well, we need to look at our Tier 1 instruction, and we need to make sure we're embedding those language-rich discourse, and then also the strategies. So, right? How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to start today by talking about a few of the big bang for your buck strategies. These strategies are proven in research to improve language acquisition. And when I talk about language acquisition, I was just talking with Robert this morning, that it's your special education students, it's your ELL students, it's your average students, it's your gifted students, it's all of your kids. This works for all of them. Number one, heard those before? Right? Okay. Two, linguistic scaffolding strategies. That's verbal scaffolding and procedural scaffolding. And that might be like googly duck right now. You might be going, what is she talking about? We'll talk about it later. But if you want to know more about it, we're going to provide some resources. Comprehensible input. I'm not doing a lot of that right now because you are all English speakers. But if I needed to, I would be paraphrasing, I would be giving you synonyms, I'd be using visuals, I would be acting things out, right? You need to be doing that. Teacher talk versus student talk. I've tried to incorporate some student talk today. I have done more of the talking though, so that would be something I'd want to work on. Modeling cycle, some call it gradual release model. Both are the same. It's making sure students know what the task is, the language of the task, and the content objective of the task. So you don't go ask students to go do a worksheet without showing them how to do number one, and then giving them some kind of language to do during that activity. And then finally checking for understanding. Well, that's not the last one, but that one's very important. We often will sit here and teach, and you'll notice that I stopped and had you turn, and I was listening to you to see if there was any misunderstandings about something. I was checking to make sure that we were all together and we all understood it. And then finally, chunking. You do little chunks of lessons. So you go to the tables, and you go to the carpet, you go back and forth. So you're like, wow, we're going to learn all these today? No, let's just do one. And we picked one that to get us all started on board is going to be very impactful on our students.